Now, we have all heard of fair trade, but how exactly does it work, and is it quite as saintly as it seems? Today on Livestock, we follow the fair trade system from head to tail and uncover the pros and cons of this rising trend. In third world countries around the world, people are forced to work in poor conditions with less than the legal minimum wage as payment. A lot of these people either don't know they are entitled to better conditions and higher pay, or they simply don't have any choice, as they desperately need the money. Fair trade is a consumer-driven movement to promote fair prices and reasonable conditions for producers of primary goods in developing regions such as Pakistan, Peru and Ghana. We talked to John Johnson, a fair trade executive, to find out their motives. How do you make the salaries and the conditions better for the farmers?
Well, what we try to do is minimise the number of steps in the process, by taking all the middlemen out of the equation. This means that at similar prices, each of the workers in the factories, farms, or transporting the coffee beans, oranges and cotton fibres get more money per person.
And why do you think fair trade is a good idea?
There are so many advantages to the fair trade system. We guarantee a fair price to the workers regardless of the economic climate. We give decent working conditions by banning child labour, making the working environment safer and giving farmers the fair trade premium, which is often used to send children to school or set up community projects that make their lives happier. You consumers are more willing to buy fair trade products, knowing that a starving child didn't grow the coffee you're drinking. This of course means that shopkeepers are happier as well.
Next, we talked to Jorge, a coffee grower in Mexico, to see if fair trade lived up to their claims. So how has the change to fair trade affected you?
Well, obviously it's a big improvement. My family have enough to eat all year, and with the extra money I can afford to send my daughter to school. Perhaps the best thing is that I have enough money to hire extra help on the farm, so I can spend more time with my family.
Well, all very persuasive sounding, but don't make your mind up yet, as we couldn't leave Mexico without getting the full scoop. Here follows an exclusive interview with Manuel, recently put into economic decline due to fair trade.
It's not fair. I can't get into the local fair trade corporation because I can't live up to the regulations. Improving the conditions of my farmers would mean I need more money. Money I don't have yet. But until I have that money and improve the conditions, I can't join fair trade. It's not fair. Here in Mexico, all the factories want fair trade coffee, and I've lost almost all my clients in the last 2 years. It's just not fair.
Now he may sound selfish, but he has a point. The biggest recipient of fair trade subsidy is Mexico. Mexico is the biggest producer of fair trade coffee with about 23% market share. Indeed, as of 2011, 181 of the 300 fair trade coffee producers were located in South America and the Caribbean. While Mexico has 51 producers, Burundi has none, Ethiopia 4, and Rwanda just 10, meaning that fair trade pays to support relatively wealthy Mexican coffee farmers at the expense of even poorer nations. Moreover, a report from the Financial Times also unveiled that some fair trade coffee farmers in Peru were being paid 10 soles a day, which is little more than the market price, and certainly below the Peruvian minimum wage. So fair trade isn't as fair as they would have you believe. But how does it affect us in Britain? To find out, we travel to Cambridge to hear the thoughts of shopkeepers and the average Joe.
Do you think fair trade is a good idea?
Yes, I do. I didn't know what was going on, but when I found out, I started stocking fair trade produce.
How has it affected your business?
At first it wasn't great, because most people didn't want to spend more money for the same product. But when word was spread about fair trade, everyone seemed more willing to buy from me, and my profits actually rose.
Do you think fair trade is a good idea?
I do. I don't think it's right for humans to cheat each other. If someone's finally doing something about it, good for them.
Would you buy fair trade regardless of price?
Well, I do if I can, but when money's tight, every penny counts. Sometimes you have to put yourself first. So, all in all, despite certain qualms and flaws here and there, fair trade seems to be the way forward for a healthy, sustainable future. Not exactly the superhero of poverty and the economy, but definitely giving some poor farmers a helping hand out of generations of deprivation.